everyone, thank you so much for coming to my channel. For those who have been here before, thank you so much for coming back and taking a look at this episode. And for those who are just here with us for the first time, welcome. I really hope you enjoy what we have going on today. So the first thing you're gonna get is your baguette. Okay, so you're gonna want to cut it in half. At least I find I like to cut it in half. It kind of makes it easier to cut. Okay, so you're gonna want to cut your baguette. It doesn't really matter which side you use. You can use either side. So I actually like to leave it on its side like this, and I like to cut it down this way. Take your knife and you want to go down. Okay, and again, there's no right way or wrong way to do this. You want to try and cut it as nicely as you can. Then you're gonna want two sides just like this. You're gonna want to take some olive oil. You're gonna just want to put a little bit in a bowl. Not too much, just a little. Just a smidge. So then you're gonna want to take this little brush. If you have a little brush, that's easier. But what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take your little brush here and you're just gonna brush it along the bread. And this is to help it get nice and crispy, which is exactly what you want. You want it nice, not super crispy, but just a little bit of crisp. So I've got my baguettes nice and drizzled with oil. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna put them on a cookie sheet. You're gonna put them in the oven for about 5 to 6 minutes, give or take, just to make sure like they're nice and crispy, a little bit of brown on the edges, not a ton. You can just use like a regular cookie sheet. There's nothing special here. So you just take your baguettes and you just place them on the cookie sheet. And then you put them in the oven for 5 minutes, 5 to 6. Okay, so while that is doing its thing, we can work on the mixture for the feta topping. You're gonna wanna get a nice bowl. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna want to have about 3 ounces of feta cheese. If you really like feta cheese and you want to add more, of course you can add more, but typically you should put about 3 ounces or so. So we're gonna turn it on. If you have a little scale like this one, you certainly can turn it on. Make sure that the scale is not weighing the container because we want it to be at 0. We want it to measure the feta cheese, not the feta cheese with the container, because then you'll end up getting less than what you need for the recipe. So place it on, make sure it stays 0. It says 0, which is good. I have my feta right here. I just got it from the grocery store. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take a little bit, make sure also it is in the right measurement. So we want this to be in ounces. I have 3 ounces of feta here, and just to kind of show you, this is kind of what 3 ounces is. It's not a lot. It's not a ton of feta. And we're also gonna want a cucumber. Now, again, this is just from the grocery store, nothing special. You're gonna wanna cut it open. Okay, and it's an English cucumber, so it does have the plastic around it. So I just wanna remove that. Okay, so cut the end off, so you won't be needing that. And then what I like to do is I actually like to cut it in half, just to make it a little bit nicer. And then you're not gonna want like super chunky pieces. Try to make them as consistent as you can. Okay. And you may want to use like kind of these smaller pieces. I find that they're easier. They're nicer on a baguette, just because they're not, I find the big ones kind of clunky, But if you really like cucumber, of course, by all means, you can use the big ones. With the bigger pieces, just put one more. Put a bigger piece, just like that, and you can just cut it in half, and then it will make it less clunky. And you can put those pieces on there as well. So put the feta mixture in the bowl, and then you're gonna wanna take this lemon. One of the tricks that I find with lemon is sometimes it's kind of hard to get it out. So sometimes I like to just roll it onto the counter with a little bit of pressure, not a ton of pressure, just to kind of loosen up the liquid from the lemon, which is what you want. And then you're gonna wanna cut this open. You just want like half a teaspoon of lemon, so you don't actually want a ton. That will help it to just kind of bring it together and just bring it alive. Gonna drizzle it in. Again, not a lot. This doesn't call for a lot. If you want, you can just grind a little fresh pepper in there as well. Not a ton, but just to kind of give it some color and just kind of add the flavor profile. I'm gonna give it a good mix just to make sure that things are really blended together well. So the oven is about to go off, so put on your oven mitts, really important step, and pull out your baguettes. So I will go get those done. Those look perfect, nice and crispy, but not too much. Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to tell you, you want to put the oven at 400, just to kind of get it like that nice crispiness, and leave it in there for 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, so because of the cucumber, my original cutting board is a little bit wet, and you want the baguettes to stay dry if you can. And then what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna take that feta mixture that we had made, and you just wanna have it, just put it onto your feta toast. Or sorry, on your baguettes. So here we go, and like it doesn't need to be heavily coated. You can just be lightly put on. If some spills to the side, no worries. That's totally fine. It's okay. You want to make sure it's like nicely coated but not too coated. And then you're going to want to take those cucumber pieces that we had cut, and you just want to put them onto the baguette. So here we go. There's a nice small piece. And you can even turn them out like this if you kind of want to create like a little design, like a butterfly effect. Truthfully, there should be something kind of like in the middle. That's okay. We'll just do this all along here. Okay, and then you're going to want to take your knife and you're just going to want to cut it just into little tiny pieces. Okay, this is what it would look like once you finish the sandwich. The feta toast is simple to make, delicious, cleanses the palate, and looks great on a tea tray. Alright guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I hope you enjoy the feta toast as much as I do. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can see all the other fun videos that will be coming out soon. So until then, bye for now.